Hi, I'm Bill Blaine, Chief Strategist at Shard Capital here in London. One of the asset classes we watch very carefully is aviation. It's an absolutely fascinating market, and it's not just about aviation manufacturers like Boeing and Airbus. But there's a lot changing in aviation at the moment, and one of the major things we've noticed is what's going on within Boeing. Everyone will be very aware that Boeing's new aircraft, the Boeing 737 MAX, has experienced two disastrous crashes in the last 6 months. Over 346 people are dead. And it has been blamed on a system that Boeing put into the plane to ensure that it was safe to fly. However, Boeing sold the plane on the basis it would be cheap for existing operators of the 737 to convert their pilots to. There is now a lot of concern that they didn't explain just how sophisticated this new system was and how it would work. When the new system stopped working, and it looks like a sensor failure was responsible for the first crash, then the aircraft goes into an uncontrollable dive. The pilots were unaware what was going on. The result was the inevitable disaster. Boeing is rushing out a solution and will make a software fix that will enable all pilots to avoid it and get on with flying the plane. Everything should be okay. The order book for the Boeing 737 MAX series is over 5,000 aircraft, which makes it the most popular plane in the world. It will mean over 15,000 will have been built, and it's also the workhorse. It provides 1/3 of Boeing's profits. However, there are now questions being asked about the Boeing 737 MAX. The design of the aircraft is the basic design of the aircraft is over 50 years old. And this latest iteration, the MAX, is achieved by stretching it and putting new fuel-efficient engines on. But that creates all kinds of compromise. The engines are so big they don't quite fit. So they've had to be squeezed in, which makes them slightly less efficient. In order for the aircraft to land and take off, they've had to lengthen the undercarriage, which again makes the aircraft less efficient. These new engines need to be pushed further forward to maintain the centre of gravity on the plane, and that's what's created the nose-up attitude that the stall system, by diving the nose, has tried to correct. It hasn't all worked, and it's become something of a compromise. Yet the order book from global airlines for the world's most successful regional jet, as I said, stands at over 5,000. It could have been very, very different. A few years ago, Boeing had the opportunity to introduce a completely new aircraft, which they have done with the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. But the Dreamliner, which is a fantastic plane to fly on, cost over $32 billion to develop. It was much easier for Boeing just to extend and continue innovating the old plane. It does mean, however, that airlines are wondering where else they can go. There's nothing from Airbus that could replace the 737. In fact, its own aircraft, the 320, is 30 years old itself. It does beg the question, though, when are global airline manufacturers, aircraft manufacturers, going to introduce new aircraft that will be fit for today's market?